Okay, so Austin says he found a shamanic ritual tree and was told it was a portal. I'm wondering how this works. I actually, there's a tree in the garden right here that is a portal, and sometimes they hold different knowledge, and they're also portals. I would say to access it, if you just meditated in the area around the tree, you could actually access that, and you might go home at night and go to sleep, and then you will have dreams about it and you'll enter the portal. Yes, trees, definitely plants, like I said, there are all sorts of things that are portals. So yes, in the picture that you did send me on here, yes, that is definitely a portal. How to block off negative and manipulative energies that try to change the way you feel. Well, again, this is, I would say lots of superfoods, magnesium, different good food, stuff like that, trying to tune your vibration, cleaning out your DNA like I just said, doing stuff like that will go ahead and block out manipulative energies. The thing is also to make what I call healthy boundaries, and if you do feel that there is an entity that is accessing you, to tell it 3 times with will to get out. Tell it that you don't want it there. Just tell it to get out, that it's not allowed within your space. And then tell it to get out of your home, out of your temple, that you don't want it. And repeat it 3 times, and that usually helps a lot with getting rid of entities. The thing is that it depends also of how strong the entity is. If it's a quite strong entity and you're having issues with it, I recommend taking a crystal, putting it under your bed where you sleep. It will absorb the entity into the crystal. Don't touch the crystal after. Put it into a box and bury the box. This is a good way of pulling any entity that's trying to bother you at night and getting rid of it. Okay, Jazz said right here, okay, what about reincarnation? Again, like I said, even some of the higher beings came down here and got reincarnated in a soul cycle for so many times. Reincarnation does happen. There are people here who are lost, who are in the soul reincarnation, and then there's the beings that can go in and out. There's all sorts of things like that. You can definitely get out of reincarnation cycle and definitely go back to the realms you want if you do work. Some people choose to stay in life after life after life because they like things down here and they like the experiences. And definitely I've come down here and had reincarnation cycles too. Then I would go back up and stay out of here for a while, then come back down. So it really depends. And once you achieve that, where you can go in and out, it's really amazing. Okay. Thoughts on DMT? Ben says, what are your thoughts on DMT? I honestly have, I'm very much against synthetic drugs and synthetic pills and stuff like that, unless people are in pain. Of course, with people that are in pain, I think that they can use natural medicine and along with the painkillers until they don't need them anymore because they're healed enough, because I definitely don't like seeing people in pain on any level. But as for DMT, I don't know quite much about what DMT I can say because I don't get into that sort of stuff. I do think my theory on marijuana is that it is definitely positive to a good point, but there's also some negative things there. It depends how it's used. If it's used as a medicine, I think it's amazing, but I don't agree on people who smoke it every day and are potheads and who do nothing in their lives. I don't know. Do you know anything about DMT? Is it a synthetic drug?
I don't know, to be honest.
I'll have to research that more so I can get back to you on that one, by the way. But like I said, if it's any drugs that are synthetic, I really am against it. And if it is synthetic drug, I just don't think that it can be useful in the end. You know, you can't cheat yourself you can't cheat your way to heaven, as they say. You have to put in the work, and sometimes people, we try to use drugs to get these synthetic highs or to achieve going to higher levels, when in the end it just throws you back down even worse. If Jamel, if that's how you pronounce the name, says, if our bodies are fully cleansed, does it increase our abilities to ascend into full consciousness of other dimensions? Yes, it does. It totally does, and that's why I encourage superfoods and everything like that. Okay, Tequila, sorry if I'm not pronouncing the names right, says, I have a question regarding my kids and husband and people that I'm close to. I just want to know if we have always been connected somehow in past lives. Like, sometimes I feel like my husband was once my father in a past life. It sounds strange, but just curious. I do believe that everybody in our families that we were connected to in past lives, even on other planets, even in other dimensions. And, I think it was the Celtics that believed that the cycles, like somebody who is your wife now could have been your mother in another life, could have been your daughter. So that's okay that you feel like that, and definitely those things do happen. Soul families often travel together, soul groups often travel together, so it's very normal that you feel that. Your perception is just a bit higher, so you're understanding that there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, Mr. Mundy says, I was wondering if you have any thoughts on names we are given at birth, and if or how childhood nicknames could potentially create alters within the child, and also if creating an alter could potentially be beneficial in any way. Okay, for one, being your true self is the best way to be. I did once create an alter to kind of cope into society more, so that I could try to cope more, because at that time that I had issues with it. I would say that it did not make me happy, and I'm much more happier now being myself. I do also believe that yes, our names are very important and they're encoded, and if you get an anagram from online and you put your whole name in, sometimes you can find just all sorts of different things. I found all sorts of different things in my name, different words that just say different stuff about you, and it actually is amazing for showing you different information about your name and yourself. I do think that nicknames or changing names, I notice a lot of celebrities get their names changed, and I do believe it is with alters, literally with a different alter, almost like Beyonce, how she has Sasha Fierce. I do believe that that's a alter of hers, and that when she's called that name, or when she says she talks about herself in that name, I do believe that that's an alter. And you have to be careful with alters, because there's a potential of entities being attached to those alters. Our names are definitely very important, and they all stand for something. So like I said, try it in anagrams and see exactly what keywords you get out of your name, because that can be quite interesting. Craig says, when manifesting, any way of knowing you have carried it out correctly apart from obviously waiting for manifestation? Any clues? Again, I addressed that about bliss and about manifestation earlier, how you can do that. I definitely pick up the clues or dream about it, so that I know when it's coming. It depends what frequency you're tuned into. Remember that the more energy that you create within yourself, and the more you protect yourself from predators, you'll have more energy that you can create and manifest anything, and that is very important in manifesting. I think patience, and also with manifesting, if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. you can't force it. You can ask the universe, and if it's meant to be, the universe will give it to you. You can't force it. You can't say, hey, listen, universe, I want to manifest myself being a millionaire. It just doesn't work. The universe is also going to give you what suits you. So always think about that when you ask for things from the universe. Tanya says, when one sees black entities from one home often, and then cleanses with sage to see no more, and then goes to another home and sees them again, can they follow you from home to home, or are they different? I chased them both off and blessed the home with sweet grass sage. Yes. Okay, so with homes, I've had this issue quite a lot. They can follow you from homes. It doesn't matter if you could travel across the world. If there's entities that have you in sight to try to cause harm in your life, they will follow you anywhere that you go. It's funny because there's that movie, I think, with John Goodwin, where he puts one murder away, and there's the exact same murder, and he's like, well, I put the murder away, and he realizes that, I think maybe it has Denzel Washington too, or I forget, but I know it has John Goodman, and he finds out that the entities jumping from one body to another doing the same murders. So yes, entities can definitely, they can follow, they can try to possess people around you, to try to weaken you and stuff like that. And they definitely, if you have not cleared your home, and you're moving into a new home and you haven't cleared it, they're going to be right there waiting for you. So it's great that you did clear it with sage. Definitely amazing. That's why I kind of keep sage around and sage all the time too. Louise says, what is the best method to experience out of body with ability to travel anywhere and everywhere and to remember the travel? I seek to remember, activate my ability to travel anywhere. I desire to remember, to interact, and I intend myself to travel without requiring a car or such. Let me out of this body, then I can return at will while my body is guarded and protected for my return. Thank you for this answer. Okay, so the thing is that first of all, there is always levels to get into outer body experiences. Cleaning your body, taking care of the emotional gunk, clearing out leeches and stuff like that, so that you can then have the energy to get out of your body and remember. If you're not remembering when you go out of your body and when or your dreams, first of all, you're not charged enough. So I recommend charging in the sun. Like I said again, superfoods and everything like that. Getting rid of leeches, getting rid of people around you that are vampires to your energy. And then you'll start to remember, and then you'll start to also be able to astral travel and be fully awake during your outer body experiences. I would also recommend to program yourself before you go to sleep. Tell yourself, I need to remember my dreams. Tell yourself, I want to do an outer body experience. I do ask the angels to protect me. I have this book right here. It's a journal, and what I do is you can just go ahead, I have a couple of these around, you can just go ahead and write down your dreams, write down your experiences, so then you're programming yourself to remember. Even if you remember part of your dream, write it down. And this really, really helps program you to start remembering your dreams, and then it also starts telling your body, and it starts telling your soul, I'm literally, I want to do this, because you're taking steps to do it. I notice people who do dream journals and people who do outer body experience journals, they evolve in such a fast way because of that. So that's one of the really, really good ways of being able to have those experiences. Like I said again, the chakra stones, and then a crystal above your head, and a crystal right here, and the chakra stones all the way down will help activate all of the chakras, and will help you stream energy in and be able to remember your dreams much more, because it's all about energy again. Elizabeth says, I have been curious about portals. I have a particular dream where I went through a portal in London and ended up in an airport in Washington, D.C. What I thought curious is that I accessed the portal through a fountain. How does water relate to portals? Okay, so water does relate to portals quite a lot. I think Russia just put out a study. I think that UFOs are so attracted to water. Lots of times when I access different places, I go through water and come out of the water. Yes. Water is almost, to me, is like pure consciousness in a way. Pure emotion, pure consciousness in 3D. That's what water almost is to me. You probably did this in an alternate universe, or this could also be telling you something about your past life. So it just depends. Like I said, again, the dream journal, and then you start to have these dreams, and they all tie in together in some way or another. So that's why I recommend a dream journal. Okay, Mrs. Graham said, are you going to show us how to do an energy clearing protocol? I will go ahead and do that next time. I think that doing the DNA clearing will work really, really well if you try that for now. And then I'm going to try throughout my videos to give each time a different clearing so we can go up stages to higher and higher and higher levels. So that's an answer to that question. Okay, Michelle says, what about the number 9? It's very interesting because a lot of dark ones use 666, which is reversal, because 9 is the number of completion. And it's very, very interesting because of the fact that they're almost reversing. They're reversing it. You turn 9 upside down, it's like 6. So they're using the opposite, the non-completion. They're using the opposite number of completion, which is 9. And that's about it for questions this week. Which thank you everyone for sending me those questions, and definitely I will get better at answering them as time goes on. But I think we've taken a lot of time today, more than
Okay.
yes. So
Thank you to Sarah, and here in Canterbury, goodbye.